What's going on, guys? Niko here, and in this video we are going to be breaking down 5 different EDM rhythmic patterns, one of which sounds like this. If you want to become a better songwriter and producer, I highly suggest that you watch this video from start to finish. I haven't found this information anywhere else out there on the internet, so you're going to learn some stuff that no one else knows. With all that being said, let's get to work. The first thing to understand when making nice rhythms and rhythmic patterns in your chord progressions is knowing that in each measure we have a specific chord, and in this one I have an A minor. And in this A minor chord, I actually broke it out from being just one chord at first into now 16 individual chords that hit. So it sounds like this. And the chord progression here is A minor, F, C, G with some variations, some sus, but we're talking about rhythms today. So when I go through this chord progression now, what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be subtracting from the 16 notes in each measure. And this actually provides us a roadmap where it's simple, and we could say, okay, if we have the 16 notes, you have a rhythmic pattern of 1, 4, 9, and 12. And that's your rhythmic pattern. So I have the most common ones in dance music right here, and the last one's actually very interesting, so make sure you watch this up until the end. Now, what I've done in this progression is I've actually removed every other note. So if we listen in here, this is how it sounds. And you can see I'm playing around with the filter in the top left-hand corner of the screen. This is a very common EDM rhythmic pattern in dance music and pop music. Not the craziest one, but we're just getting started here. It's going to get much more interesting. So when we go into our next rhythmic pattern right here, this is how this one sounds. So notice in each measure, it's the same rhythmic pattern. And all it is, guys, if we zoom in on our first one right here, it's 1, we have 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, and then 15. So it'll come up on the screen right now. It's a plug and play simple rhythmic pattern. So once you make your chord progression, you can mess around with it, right? So this is the one that I discovered here. I've listened to a lot of dance music. It's pretty common. Now here's the next one. Now this one's actually building off of this one right here. So what I did is something called note doubling. Now I took it here, we have the same rhythmic pattern in each chord, and what I did was in the space that there wasn't a note playing, I doubled it. So I would go through each progression and do the same thing. I'll just do the first 2 here. And then I decided, what if I double here and add another note? So I did that here, and let me see real quick, what else did I do? Yeah, it was just that one. So now the chord progression sounds like this. And you can see here now I'm just messing around starting from that 16th number to where we're at now. So maybe here I want to delete this one and hear how this sounds, and maybe delete this first one. Let's hear this. Right, so it's really just messing around with these patterns, but the key thing to keep in mind, guys, is that we know the numbering system now for these rhythmic patterns, making it a lot easier for us. Now, the next rhythmic pattern, this is going to be the 4th one that we're going over. This is probably actually one of my favorite ones. Let's listen in. This is a really cool one, and the reason why is because our first measure and our third measure have the same rhythmic pattern, and our second measure and our fourth measure have the same rhythmic pattern, but they both don't share the same rhythmic pattern, if you get what I'm saying. So right here, if we just look in, we have the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, 10, and then the 13 and 15, right? And then we go down here, the first note is actually not there. So it kind of leaves us guessing as what's the next chord coming along in this progression, because when we go here, the 1 isn't there. And then we just change up the rhythmic pattern to be, 3, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10, and then 13 and 15. And you can, again, mess around with this, guys, through some trial and error. But as you can see here on my screen, this is one that you can look at, put in your DAW, and mess around with further. I'll play it for you one more time. And when you throw on the Kickstarter here and you get it pulsing a little bit and you're messing around with the filter, right, it gets really fun when you start doing this. All right, so that's that one. And the last one here is actually a pretty simple one. It's used a lot by Robin Schultz in his music. And all it is, guys, it's the same exact rhythmic pattern per chord. And what we're doing is we have the 1. And see, it's a little bit tougher for me to count here because we have all these individual measures, right? But it's really just the 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and the 13. So it's a nice sustained pattern and it sounds like this. Let me take off the Kickstarter and put on the creative filter up. So you could, when you're arranging a song, what you can do is you can start with this 5th one, and then maybe right after the 5th one plays, you can do this. Filter in. All right, these are really cool, guys, and they sound great. And just so you guys know, the presets that I'm using behind this are ultrasonic presets from a Martin Garrix pack, I believe. That's Wild Vibes. And then this one is Ultrasonic Pad Manze 14. Love ultrasonic sounds. They're really great. I use them in a lot of my music. And with that being said, those are 5 different rhythmic patterns, but really you came away with more than 5 because you saw the process behind it. I created some that you have now. They're cookie cutter for you to easily use, and you guys can actually download the Plucks from pianoforproducers.com. There's going to be a link in the description if you want to get more free MIDI like this, but you can use trial and error here, guys. So if you found value from this video, make sure you go down below, like, comment, subscribe, turn on the notifications bell, let me know what else you'd like to learn. And I'm here for you guys, whether you want to learn more about composition, melody writing, chord progressions, rhythms, whatever it is, let me know. I'm going to take care of it. I want to help you guys out and get you guys fantastic results. That being said, again, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video.